All right, so while we're talking about arpeggios, what I want to do is give you another little tip on how to think about arpeggios. Again, in fretboard mastery, we're looking at the grand scheme of things, but it's always nice to have these small things that we can grab onto when we're not exactly sure what to do, or we're not exactly sure what's coming next, or we don't know the bigger picture. And so what I like to do is teach people 3 different ways to look at your arpeggios, and then you can start connecting these together across the fretboard as well. So we're going to look at C major and A minor, just like we've been doing the whole time. So C major, if you remember, would be C, E, and G. And A minor would be A, C, and E. Those would be the notes in those arpeggios. So with C, what we're going to do is we're going to go up to this position right here, this first position, if you will. Okay, and the 3 ways I like to see an arpeggio off of the root, off the C, is either on the right side, on the left side, or over the top. And let me show you those 3 ideas. So if I was on this C, I could play C, E, G. And that would give me, either I'm playing the arpeggio or I'm just visualizing those 3 notes as I'm playing through the scale. Those notes are kind of highlighted in my brain because that's my root, my third, and my fifth, if that makes sense. So as I'm playing through this, I can see that you see? So as this, the C chord is playing, I can hear that root, that third, and that fifth. Another way to visualize that is on this side, on the left side. So instead of playing C, E, G like that, I'm going to play C, E, G right here. So it's on this side, starting with my pinky. So again, it's cutting into, what I could consider the A minor pentatonic shape, or however I want to look at it. But it's leading me down there. I got a cage sitting right there of the G shape. All these different things are happening. And usually I won't play all 3 of those, but it gives me those notes to decide what I want to emphasize. Okay? So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to build this way. So if I go right from this C here, instead of going on the right side or going on the left side, I'm going to go over the top. So I'm going to put my middle finger on that C. I'm going to play E right here on the 5th string, and then G. So I have C, E, G. Sitting right there. See that? So I can play it anywhere I want off of those. So if I was looking at this position, I can see those right there, or at any time I can move into those. Okay, now let's look at a few different places to find the exact same thing, but on different strings, just in case you'd encounter another position that you're in. So you can do the same thing by going to the 5th string and finding the C. You'd have the one on the right, you have the one on the left, which is actually going to use an open string in this case, and the one over the top. Okay, you can see how they connect with each other. See that? So they overlap each other all over the fretboard. Okay, let's find another one. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the 4th string and find this. There's our C right there. So we have C, E, G. There's to the right. Okay. Over on this side, we're going to do the same thing, but it's going to look a little different. Instead of being this, pinky, middle, first, over if we do this, that note's not going to work. It's got to be a half step higher because of the tuning of the guitar. So in this particular position, it's going to be going from 10, 9, and 8. So 3 in a row like that. And then over the top, it's going to look the same. Okay. And then if we move up to this C, okay. And then we run out of strings, of course. Okay. So you can see we've got them all over the fretboard in different various places. Okay. If I went to the C on the 3rd string, I can have C, E, but G would be here, again, because of that tuning. Or C, E, G. See that? So when you get to the 3rd string, that's when things are going to shift a little bit because of the tuning of the guitar. So it gets a little bit harder there. And again, I don't want you to go into this with an all or nothing attitude. I just want you to start picking little things that you might be able to utilize. What I've always found interesting about the basic fundamentals of arpeggios like we're talking about now is that it's showcasing or highlighting the root, the 3rd, and the 5th across the fretboard, which is great, okay? But because it's highlighting those doesn't mean that those are the only notes we want to play. I almost would rather look at it as I see the scale, and then I see those notes, the root, the 3rd, and the 5th, highlighted on top of that scale. So it kind of tells me, hey, that might be a good note to try and emphasize, or that might be a good note to try and direct my movements toward, is that root, that 3rd, or that 5th.